yes, it is 5:15, just finished work. I've got the day off tomorrow because I'm actually ill at the moment. I've got a massive ear infection, but I haven't got the doctors till early afternoon, so I'm going to go home, get the rods, get down the river, do an overnighter, maybe if we're lucky bag a carp. I hope so, man. The last session, the first session we've done on the river, we did really well, so I'm hoping that continues. Been doing a lot of pre-baiting, kept that bait going in. Yeah, hopefully the fish will be up for a little munch at some point. The pre-baiting was obviously working. The first session proved that, banking 2 carp on the first 2 nights. So I decided to come down every couple of days after work and kept that bait going in over the top of the spot. This extra bit of time down the river every couple of days allowed me to keep an eye on the swim, see if anyone was fishing, keep an eye on the birds to see if they was diving on the area, picking up the bait, and to check a lot more of the stretch. A lot of the stretch is basically unfishable. Lots of thick brambles leading up to the water's edge with a high drop, making landing fish impossible unless you dragged them up against the brambles, something I was not willing to do. So I was quite happy baiting up this section once more, ready for the upcoming weekend. Oh yes, we are finally down the river. What is the time now? Probably 6:15, 20 past 6. Finally at the river, got a little bit set up, rods are ready to be baited up, ready to go, net's there. Right, let's have a little talk about the swim. 2 rods are going over there where I've been heavily baiting up ever since, even before I started fishing this place, and 1 rod's going down there. It is bubbling up like mad down there. I've been baiting that spot up as well a little bit. Yeah, so just bubbles streaming up, so there's definitely fish down there. Not going to go mad with the bait this session. Little pouch full of bait over the top of each one, and a little mesh bag of crushed up boilies, a few pellet. Should be spot on. Like I said, there's been plenty of bait going in here. The fish have found it, they know where it is. I had some on my first session, so not to go mad with bait, and hopefully get a bite quick time. That's the plan anyway. Feels good, looks good. Yeah, I'll have the rods inside my bivvy, and I'll show you a little trick in a little while for if you're fishing with your rods like this. Bang your pegs, a couple of spare bivvy pegs in the bottom of your rods to stop them getting ripped off the rests and getting torn into the lake from a savage run. That's what I've been doing. But yeah, everything looks absolutely wicked. I'm going to start clipping up these rods, yeah, and get rods in the water. But first of all, I'm going to get this rod in first, this left hand rod, because like I said, bubbling up and fizzing like mad already, so a rod's got to go straight on that. Simple lead clip setup, 3-ounce lead, Catran Cobra hook link. I don't even know, have to say anything, man. You know how much I love this stuff. Anything Catran is bringing out is absolutely epic. The best hook link material out there by a million miles at the moment. And that's got a size 8 Nash twister, 20mm link bottom bait, and then there's a little mesh bag there of crushed up link, a few crushed up squid 2T boilies and some pellet as well. And that's all fished on my bottom bait spinner rig. I catch all my fish using this rig. It's absolutely mustard. Nails everything every single time. Nothing but confidence in this rig. It does the business every single time. What a rig. Honestly, if you ain't using a spinner or Ronnie rig on the deck with just a bottom bait, you're missing out. It's absolutely devastating. That left hand rod is now in exactly where those big fish have been feeding, sort of banging halfway, sort of 10-15 yards. Bubbles are popping up, so that's the best bit. This is what I want to show you about as well. So you've got your rod going to the middle of the lake here, which means the top of the rod's going to be pulling that way, which means the bottom is going to go in the opposite direction. If you do get a take and it screams off, so that rod butt is going to want to go in that way. So what you want to do is bang in a peg very similar to this, that's going to curve around the bottom of your rod, and this one, because the rod butt is going to want to go that way, if a rod picks it up and screams off, you want to put it on the right hand side of the rod, so it's going against the peg and being hooked in by the arch. That is a really, really useful tip for not losing a rod in this situation where you've got your rod tips high and the butt's on the ground. So yeah, I hope that helps anyone who needed to hear that or anything. So little tip for you. You probably use it already in your own fishing, but it all helps, doesn't it? It's time to get these two rods clipped up on the other side and get them on the spot. Right, those first two rods went out without absolutely any problems. Just clipped up the third rod. Again, lead clip setup, 3-ounce lead. Favourite spinner rig on the deck. A Link 20mm. That body stops moving down a little bit. But yeah, Link 20mm, and then little mesh bag of pellet and crush link. All ready to go out on its lovely little spot to catch me some lovely carp. Everything is now set up. Little shelter set up. Rods are set up out on their spots. Everything is pucker and perfect. Rods right inside the bivvy for safety and security. Yeah, like I said, everything's set up. Everything looks good. Really, really windy down here today. But everything is absolutely mustard. I've had both fish, get that screen back on, off the corner of this bush here, slightly to the right hand side. I've got one rod there and come up 5-6 foot, another rod right there. I've been baiting that little section quite heavily now. I was baiting and fishing to the left of that as well, but when I had a walk around to bait up the other day, it's slightly shallower off this bit here. I took a marker rod and it's slightly shallower. It takes a little bit longer to come out before it drops off. So I'm thinking the food's going to sort of accumulate where it hits the ledge, slightly deeper water here. And I'm thinking that's the reason why I've picked them up off that spot. A lot of the bait gets, or food or whatever, gets pushed down and then it hits a little ledge there and it can't really go anywhere, so the fish know there's food there. Mental. It's now 8:30. Nothing really to report yet. Still getting a few bubbles popping up here and there along the middle, sort of around the baited area, but no touches or anything yet. Yeah, very, very quiet at the moment, but I don't really expect anything to happen until it gets dark. Both my bites so far have been at about, I think the first one was at 4 in the morning, and then the lovely mirror was 4:30 in the morning. So to be honest with you, I'm not really expecting much for a few more hours yet. But saying that, anything could happen literally at any point, because I've just been baiting up There's been a lot of free food knocking about for them. So literally these rods could go off at any point, hopefully sooner rather than later. I'm going to horseflies everywhere. I'm going to chill out for a bit. I'm going to stick my hoodie on before I get eaten alive by these horseflies. Yeah, hopefully it won't be too long before we get a little nibble on one of these rods. Yeah. Jesus Christ. I was in a deep sleep, but I sprung into action quickly. But in the panic, I forgot I had a bivvy peg holding the back of the rod down. With the rod tips clattering about, I managed to pull the peg out in time. Get in that net, go on. It is now 10 to 4. In the sling down there, we'll get ourselves a carp. Get in there, man. Buzzing, I can't put a foot wrong at the moment. Absolute result. I'm not going to tell you what's in there. We can have a look at it in the morning together in about an hour and a half. I've just got the rod back out on the spot. And to be fair, I had to get 2 rods back on the spot. It wiped out another rod. But for what's inside the sling, it is well worth it. There we go. Having a really good start to the river campaign. Really good. Another stunning mirror. Well happy. Doesn't get much better than this. Epic mirror. Blown away by how well the start to this river campaign is going. Proper getting amongst them. We are smashing it. We're doing so well. Unbelievable. Get in. Come on, man. 3 nights, 3 fish. I'm gonna put this back. Yeah, really happy with this. Proper result. It's insane, man. What started off as a hope of maybe trying to locate a carp or 2 in a river has turned into 3 nights and 3 carp landed, and a couple of absolute bangers at that as well. Yeah, I'm blown away, man. It's going really, really well. This is like the perfect start to a river campaign that anyone could have. It's now 8:30. Got about an hour and a half left, I suppose, before we've got to get out of here. I've got a few things to do at home today. I'm going to stick it out until like 10. Yeah, really surprised the left hand rod hasn't gone off. The one that's in the middle, there's a lot of bubbles always coming up from around all down the stretch of all down the middle. Loads of bubbles coming up, but no fish off that. Just seem to be getting them off the far bank. That middle rod exactly every time. 3 fish, all on the middle rod, and all taken on the link as well. Right, we've got about 20 minutes left of the session now. Just waiting on for that one more bite to happen. To be honest, I'm not even that bothered if it doesn't happen. I still consider us doing really, really, really well. 3 fish in 3 nights. It doesn't get much better than that. Honestly, it really, really doesn't. I'm just quite happy sitting here, just scoping out the water, really. Right, that is it. There's another session done. Yeah, 3 out of 3. Absolutely loving this at the moment. Yeah, I'm going to come down tomorrow after work, do a bit of pre-baiting. I'm going to walk all of this stretch tomorrow and check out every single spot, and then see if I can find a new swim be fair, in between these two trees here, there's a nice swim over the back here. It looks like a very nice looking swim. Points to the back over here, so, and it gives you a bit of this margin here, so I'm gonna have a decent proper look at that. And go all the way down, check out the whole entire stretch. Maybe start baiting up another couple of spots, ready for when we do move. Hope you enjoyed the video. Still banking carp, even when we're moving on to the rivers. Yeah, good luck, tight lines, stay safe, and bank some carp. Get in there, man, we are smashing it, tearing the river apart.